So the more and more popular AI gets, the more and more I realize that all these bad things people are saying about it aren't because of AI itself, but more so the bad things people are doing with it. When you guys say, oh, AI is going to be a problem, we need to get rid of AI, what you really mean is that we need to get AI out of the wrong people's hands. Believe it or not, like the homie Ripley, AI wasn't made to have people fuck. Somebody just happened to find out that it's really good at making people do that. It's like when you're playing a game and you find a glitch that basically changes how people play the game. You're not gonna get mad at the game company because some guy was forcibly trying to break the physics of the game and found out you left one pixel out on the edge of the map where no one's supposed to be. But those are the kind of people who have been giving AI its bad reputation. And now, instead of someone trying to blackmail a girl that you deep fake some nudes of, there are teachers who are creating AI audios to get other teachers fired.
The audio clip is less than 60 seconds, long enough to completely upend a Baltimore area high school. In it, a voice is heard making racist remarks about black students' academic performance and anti-Semitic complaints about Jewish community members. For months, parents, teachers, and students believed it was a racist rant by Pikesville High School principal Eric Eiswart. But today, officials revealed that voice was generated by AI.
So the athletic director of Pikesville High School in Maryland, Deshaun Darien, was apparently upset that his contract wasn't going to be renewed. So he's like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm black, and there are laws put in place to where I can make this very inconvenient for you. And they're like, bring it on, you fucking hairy milk dud. We'll go to war with you. So he goes home and he's like, hey son, so if I wanted to make a little video, but I want it to sound like someone else, how would I go about doing that? How would I go about doing that, son? No, I don't know where mom is. But he was also alleged to have been paying teachers that helped him under the table, which the school was being looked into for.
Detectives found former athletic director 31-year-old Deshaun Darien to be responsible for the clip, believed to be retaliation after finding out his contract would not be renewed after terminating a coach without approval and allegedly paying teachers under the table for helping him with his job, which is the subject of an internal audit.
So it wasn't just the contract not being renewed, but he caused the school itself to get audited. That alone would get anyone fired, but he wasn't having it, so he went into the studio and cooked up this little spicy number.
You know, I seriously don't understand why I have to constantly put up with these dumbasses here every day. Between these ungrateful black kids who can't test their way out of a paper bag, or these teachers who don't get it, how hard is it to get these students to meet their grade level expectations? Lawrence and Ravenel should have never been hired. And don't let me get started on DJ. I'm going to drag his black ass out of here one way or another. I'm going to get something to stick. I'm just so sick of the inadequacies of these people. And if I have to get one more complaint from one more Jew in this community, I'm going to join the other side.
Now, my one criticism would be that he should have had him say the N-word. I know he probably had some limitations with what he could have the AI say, but an N-word would have sent this over the top. Without that, people were focusing on the whole thing, replaying it, analyzing it. You had an N-bomb in there, and people would be too scared to listen to it and fear that they would get in trouble. But thankfully, they hired the one black person who couldn't make a white person look racist. Another thing I wouldn't have done was have the audio with him insulting a whole nother group of people. At the time it might have sounded good, but the detectives are listening to this being like, what the fuck does I'm gonna join the other side mean? Especially when you're talking about Jewish people. What are you gonna become, a fucking Nazi or a Palestinian? What the frick does it actually mean? It was actually so unbelievable that after the FBI had told detectives that the recording wasn't authentic, they still had Cal State Berkeley test it, and they came back with the same conclusion. They both had no idea what the fuck I'm gonna join the other side meant when referring to Jewish people. You gonna become anti-Semitic? For the fuck of it? What? It even says the principal told detectives he believed Deshaun was the one responsible for making the audio, and then it came out that after they caught him, he was using the school computers to research AI tools. And then on top of that, it says that he sent the audio to a coworker, which then she sent it out to news outlets. But the email that he sent her, they found out from the IP address that it came from his grandma's house.
In court documents, investigators say interviews conducted, including with Darien and two other teachers revealed they received the recording by email from a Gmail account before it went viral the next day. That Google account, investigators detail, was traced back to Darian, and the associated IP address belonged to his grandmother.
Imagine thinking that if you don't look up any incriminating things on your own computer, you'd be safe, which might have actually worked if he didn't use the computer of a relative and the place he works at. That's like you planning to rob a library and you look up how to rob a library on the library computer in front of the librarian. You ask her, hey, do you know how to Google search something? Yeah, how do you spell library? Actually, you know what? You can just search this up for me. Yeah, how to rob a library. How to kill the librarian. What to do when the librarian gives you a weird look. But it said for months, people in the community were thinking this was real, and it even got him removed from his position. What I want to know is what this principal sounded like, because he probably sounded like the most generic white person ever if a single AI audio can be mistaken for him. Like, I can understand if he deep faked some photos of the principal at a Klans meeting or something because his face is online, but unless there was an archive of this guy's voice recordings, I don't understand how people didn't question this right away. But I get it, in 2024 you gotta be safe rather than sorry in these situations, because in that time where they were trying to figure out if this is real or not, social media would have been on their cheeks. Their school would have been fucked so bad they would have had to rebuild it from the ground up. Unless you had me. See, when I heard the athletic director was getting fired, I was like, let's see how good he actually is at directing athletics. So what I did was look up the win-loss records for their 4 major sports, and you guys tell me if this guy deserved a new contract. These are the records for the coaches he's hired, by the way. For baseball, they went an even 7-7. For football, they went 1-9. For soccer, they went 0-8. And for basketball, they went 4-22. At one time going on an 11-game losing streak. And that was just the boys. For the girls, their field hockey, softball, and soccer team didn't win a single game this year. And the other sports combined for a record of 38-11, which is good, but that's all because of basketball and volleyball, because the lacrosse team went 2-3. I don't care if you donated $1 million bajillion to that school. Those records are gonna get you fired. Not renewing his contract was probably one of the best things they would have done, but he's like, hey, did you guys not appreciate my hard work? Did you not see how hard? Do you know how hard it was to have a baseball team get 7 wins? And actually, I will say the baseball team before that was actually pretty good, being ranked first in Baltimore County 3 years in a row. But there was more than enough in the stat book to not renew this guy's contract, even if they didn't find out about this AI thing. But yeah, guys, these are the exact kind of people who give AI a bad name. Like I've said many times before, if you're not creating a picture of the Grinch about to murder Dora, then what are you even doing? See you guys Sunday. Peace.